Hey Stampers, Diane Dimich here with DDStamps.com. Welcome to my stamp room. It's kind of a mess, but it is what it is. I just want to thank you for coming tonight. I have some things planned that I hope you like. I will tell you that I have not been feeling 100% today. Kind of have a little bit of a headache, so if I'm not on top of everything, hopefully you'll understand. And we're going to get started. So if you could let me know, you should be able to see me and hear me on YouTube and Facebook and sorry, I'm going around to shut things down here. YouTube, Facebook, and my website. So if you guys could just let me know if you're out there. On YouTube, just a comment, and Facebook, there's a box down below. If you're on like a laptop, I don't know if you can do it on your phone or an iPad. And on my website, you'll have to just make a comment and it sends me an email telling me that you made a comment. That's how I know. So anyway, hopefully everybody can hear and see me. I'm not getting, oh good, yeah, they can over on YouTube, but I'm not hearing anything from Facebook. Oh, there we go. Hey, Julie, how are you? Good. So far, so good. That's great. But I'm not sure about my website. Anyway, I'm going to let it go and see what happens. Hopefully you guys still see me and hear me on YouTube. Yeah, I'm seeing Bev's here and Hilda's here. Valerie. Cool. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and get started and then we'll see what happens. So I had a couple of people send me some questions today. Some of them easy to answer. Some of them, it's interesting because I didn't get one of the questions till later tonight, and it was from Julie about scrapbooking. And I actually put a scrapbook page together tonight to show people how I have done it. I will tell you, when I first became a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I was a scrapbooker and fell in love with the product and knew that it would be perfect for scrapbooking. And my favorite time to scrapbook is this time of year because I'm still not seeing people on. Let me see if anybody's over on my website. Sorry, I hate to do this in the middle of it, but well, it's there. Oh yeah, comments, lots of comments coming up. Okay, good. So anyway, I'm not getting email from that. So I'm just going to try to hold on and hold that open. So hopefully I will catch everybody. Okay, so Julie had a question about scrapbooking, which I will talk. Bobby sent me and asked me about the weather, and I have to chuckle because it was announced today. I live in a resort town up in the mountains, and we have a pass that goes up over the mountain into Yellowstone. And actually, it was announced today that it's closing tomorrow. So this is it. And when I opened up my app to check the weather tonight after Bobby asked, I have to show it to you because it really shows you what we're in for. And as you can see, it's going to start snowing at 10 o'clock, and it's going to snow all night, and it's going to snow on Sunday, and it's going to snow on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So winter's here. We didn't get much of a fall this year, but September was beautiful, even though I don't remember much of it because it was so busy. But winter's here. I took my flowers down today and put them out in the yard for the deer to eat. Hopefully we'll get our sprinkler system blown out this weekend and move on to the next season. Anyway, that brings me back to the holidays, which I absolutely love. So this time of year is my favorite time of year. I love October, November, December. And I love it for stamping reasons too, because there's so much fun new stuff. So as always, I'm going to pull up my screen so I can just run through some housekeeping before we get started, just so you're aware. Let me find out. Here it is. Sorry. This little dot, this little arrow here, if you hit that gear right there, if you're having issues, if I'm lagging or if it's just not, the voice isn't with the film, sometimes if you lower that gear, it'll show up better. The higher the number, the higher the quality of the video. But it really all depends on your download speed, my upload speed. So that's what that's for. Down here at the bottom where I just changed it, and now you can't see it, there's a little arrow down there by auto refresh comments. That little arrow, that's actually on Facebook. And I just want to let you know that if that is checked and you are putting in a comment, every 90 seconds it updates. Doesn't matter. It's their 90 seconds, not yours. So if you're 87 seconds into it and you start typing, it's going to refresh and you're going to lose your comment. So sometimes I just tell people uncheck that if you plan to comment throughout the night, because then your comment won't get lost. Good. Everybody's saying hi on Facebook, so I know people are out there, and YouTube. Good, good, good. It's working, and so is, oh good, Nancy got the Christmas papers and ribbon. The paper and the ribbon in the holiday catalog this time around was phenomenal, if I do say so myself. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to keep tabs on my website because I'm not getting emails all of a sudden. So that's not great. Okay, so do you scrapbook and will you show us a few pages? That was the only question I actually got on there. The other question Darlene had was the difference inks that are used with the alcohol pens and with the watercolor marker or pencils. So that's what I'm going to show here in just a second. I'm going to pop over to my other screen. Let's hope it moves over and everything goes as planned. That one didn't work. Oh, good, this one did. Okay. I always have a little anxiety wondering if it's going to work. So hopefully that did work. Yep. Okay. So a couple of things. Nancy, no, it wasn't Nancy. See how quickly I forget people's names? Darlene asked about the different types of ink. So I pulled them out. So StazOn is our permanent black ink. It's a solvent ink. So, and it is used with our watercolor pencils because it can get wet and it won't bleed. Now, as far as the alcohol markers go, now, as you know, alcohol markers are permanent, but they need to be used with like a classic ink, or I use them with Memento ink a lot if I'm using black. But I want people to realize that not only can you use Memento ink, you can use all of our classic inks with the blends. And it's because they're this is alcohol based and this is water based, and so they don't mix, and so that's why you can use them. So don't get I get stuck always using black, but I've really found there are some things that I would rather stamp in early espresso or gray, especially if I'm doing you know, like a technique. So don't always get stuck using black. You can use the classic inks too with the blends. StazOn is a permanent ink, and so because it's permanent, if it gets wet, it won't bleed, and that's why it's great with the watercolor pencils and our regular markers. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that helps. I should just do a full class on blends and blend techniques, and maybe one of these days I will. Okay, so tonight we're going to do some Halloween stuff to begin with. And I'm just using this Halloween paper, Toil and Trouble. And I loved this paper. A few of you ordered the paper share with me, and you found out how wonderful these papers are. So this, I mean, they're just beautiful. You can see I cut some images out that I use. So I'm going to show you tonight. And it has the green on the back, and then the bats. And these bats actually match up with the bat punch. And I love this one with the black with the stars. And these little ghosts. Can't get much cuter than that with the grape stripe. And our brooms, our strip of brooms. And there must be another one in here. Oh, the pumpkins. I haven't used this one yet. I think this is the only piece that I haven't used yet, which is pumpkins on one side. Oh, the brooms. Yeah, I have. Never mind. Anyway, so as you can see, so I cut my cardstock up, and as you can see, I store all of my extra bits and pieces with the 12 by 12 sheets of cardstock, and all of them are actually stored. This way I always have all my bits of paper together. They're all stored in a 12 by 12 scrapbook page. That's how I store them. So, and then I can see them too. I can see the colors. Oh, and the back, I keep the piece of chipboard for the back part because that tells you what colors come with the different designer series papers. So there's that. So tonight I'm just going to show some ideas with the envelope punch board that aren't necessarily envelopes. And I'm going to use the Toil and Troubles Designer Series paper. And mostly I'm using paper and ribbon cardstock, just for the fun of it. Okay, so this is the envelope punch board. Mine has been well used. It's a great punch board because you can make envelopes that coordinate, but I'm going to show you how I made this, which is actually really cute. And it tucks in like a fun size Hershey bar. Will fit right down inside that little pocket. And I just cut out some bats and I cut out the cauldron. Now on this cauldron, I just now did this, but I put it on a spring, which is actually just a product. You can see it back there, that I found online, and it just makes things have a little wiggle to them. So I added one of those on there. I will tell you, I got these online, and I'm sure you can get them through Amazon. But I got the larger ones, and I kind of wish I'd gotten the smaller ones. They just have, it's double-sided tape or one-side tape, and then a spring, and then a piece to attach to your project. But this is kind of a hard plastic, and I wish it was a little bit smaller. I did cut some down, and they still worked, but it would have been easier. So this is the project I'm doing, and as you can see, I just used paper. And how I start this is with a 5x5 piece of Designer Series paper. So you can see each sheet of Designer Series paper would make 4 little packets. So for this particular one, it's 5x5, and you're going to go to the 2-inch mark, punch it, and score it. And then when you come around the second score, you always are going to line up this little notch right here with the score line. And that's how you make an envelope. So that really is just what I'm showing now is just an envelope. It's a gift card envelope. So you can see I'm lining it up here. Using the little score piece, which actually stores inside your board so you don't lose it. And then the nice thing about the board is, especially with this particular envelope, you need to have rounded corners because it goes together better. So when I put this back into the back of that punch, it punches my notches on this side, and then it rounds my, here, I bet you can see better on this side. It rounds my corners. And then those are those scraps of paper. And then you're just going to go ahead, see if you round it, then your envelope will close better. I don't know if I should do, I think I'll do this one purple, just to show you the different looks. And then this one comes up. And then what I'm going to do, I suppose I didn't leave my tape out here. That's typical. Here it is. Now I'm going to do this first. I'm doing this one first because I want to make sure I keep a nice pocket, and then that one, and then this one actually. Yeah. Simple. Cute, and then it tucks in, and actually it's even cute without being decorated. But then when you take a piece of another piece of paper and make some decorations, I cut out some witches' hats, and I've got the cauldrons, and I've got bats, and then you can decorate each one, stuff them with a candy bar, and you're good to go. That's the easy one. That's the envelope. They're all easy, actually. But I think this next one is one of my favorites. And this is the cracker box. Now, I did these for Halloween, but I've done them for birthdays, and I've done them for Christmas, all kinds of things. And they're super easy. We're going to use the envelope punch board, but we're also going to use the scoreboard. So let me pull that out. So for this particular one, I'm coming in with a piece of cardstock. Again, it's that double-sided cardstock. It is 6 by 4.5. And I'm going to line this up here. Grab my scoring tool, and I'm going to score it at 1. Ooh, don't go too hard because it's Designer Series paper, and it doesn't need to be scored hard because it'll rip. And you get a little rip in it, but it's still going to work. And then I'm going to turn it on its side, and I'm going to score it at 1/2 inch, 1 inch, and 1.5 inches. And I'm going to do the same thing on this other side. So 1/2 inch, 1 inch, and 1.5 inches. This really is so easy. Okay, so for this particular box, I'm going to just go ahead and fold on my score lines so I know where they are. And then once I've done that, I'm going to bring in my punch board. And did I not write down? I didn't write the score marks. Well, that was just silly of me. Oh, I think it was 1 inch. Yeah. 1 inches and 5 inches. You're going to score it, and then you're going to fold it down. So you're folding over that little flap, and then you're going to fold over this little flap. And again, score it at 1 and 5. And then open it up and fold it again. 1 and 5. And again. Yep, 1 and 5. And then at the very last, you're going to just put that last piece in there, and that's going to be scored. Make sure it's butted up against the edge there. At 1 and 5. Okay. So then once you've done that, you're going to take some tape, and I'm going to use sticky strip. And I am just going to add a little piece to that flap down this side. I think you can see how this goes together, but it really does go fairly quickly. Let me get rid of this tape here. And then what I do is I just fold it in half, and that picks up that edge, and that's how you get your box. Now, one of the things I probably should have done was fold these end score lines before I actually taped it. But I'm going to gently, as you can see, just fold that one in at the top there, and that's how you get the cracker top. See that? And that's how you get the cracker top. You just kind of push it in. And then what you're going to do is you're going to tie it off. Now, I tied this off with some black glitter that we had, glitter ribbon. I'm going to use some of our new ribbon in the holiday catalog. I need a better background here. I just got a piece of white paper. But can you see that black ribbon with the glitter in it? It's so pretty, and it can be used for lots of different things. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a piece and tie off my end. This one I think I'll just tie in a knot. That one I tied in bows. I don't know, it's fine. So these little cracker holders, I know they hold the Hershey Nuggets. I think they hold 4 Hershey Nuggets, 4 chocolate kisses, a chapstick. Anyway, all kinds of stuff that's out there. So I'm just going to do a knot on this one because it's a little bit stiffer ribbon, and it doesn't necessarily have to be in a bow. So what you do is you do that on one end, then you fill it from this end, and then you tie it off again. And then you have these cute little cracker boxes that are super easy. And again, I just cut out images from the paper. As you see, I haven't even really stamped yet because all I'm doing is I took that pack of paper and I chopped it up and made it, I should rub it a little bit, made it into a bunch of images here. I just have like a pile of them that I can use. And I would do that too with that Christmas paper, that velvety Christmas paper. Anyway, super easy, easy to make, easy to do. We're going to take a little break here and I'm going to talk about scrapbooking because somebody had asked about that. And like I said, this is actually the time of year I started stamping 22 years ago. It's coming up on my anniversary with Stampin' Up! Of 23 years. Crazy. Anyway, and like I said, scrapbooking was what I did. So I put these together this afternoon just because I needed to have a little time. And you can see I used the same papers that are in that paper pack. I did 2 pages, same papers. And all of these big grape boxes would be places that I could put pictures and then have them matted a little bit with that grape. There's room for journaling. There's room for decoration. I even cut out some bats and added them on there. I didn't do any stamping. I did do sponging on this one because I didn't really care for the total white background. And so I just did a little sponging on it, which is super easy. Let me grab the sponge and I'm sure it's here. So I was using this new gorgeous grape, which I just opened up today. And I was so glad that it coordinated with this. And I quarter my sponges, pick up some ink on it, and then just do the edges with some sponged color, and it just gives it a little bit more, I don't know, tattered look, a little more Halloween-y. Takes some of that white off. I don't really need to do all this over on this side because it's already got color. But you can just see how you can add a little bit more texture to your cardstock. Now, if I had pictures of my children, actually I do have scrapbook pages already of them as Halloween. But this year I think it's going to be the dogs in our family because it sounds like the dogs in our family are all going to get costumes. And so I'm just going to probably do a scrapbook page of my dogs, my granddogs and my dog. But super easy. So how I scrapbook is, I'm going to come back online. How I scrapbook for the most part anymore is I use what's called scrap mats. And it's, scrap mats are, well, they're all over the internet. Number one, you can find them anywhere. And so it just is already, it's like a diagram, and you copy and you cut the paper, and it works great with designer series paper because it gives you for some of them give you the measurements. I will put this one up on my Facebook page, or no, website. I'll share it on my Facebook page, but I will take a picture and I will put the measurements up. But it's that particular scrap mat, you could use any papers, any stamping, any colors, and every time you did it, it would look different. And then the pages can be turned so that it looks totally different. So 2 different kinds of paper or 2 different kinds of stamping, and it looks like a totally different page. That's the kind of scrapbooking that I do. And that's how I did it too when I was really heavily into scrapbooking. I will say I'm not so much anymore, but I had fun today and looking at stuff. And now, now that my son's gotten married and we're going to have a bunch of wedding pictures, I'll probably put together a scrapbook, and I'll probably just use scrap mats with paper that coordinated. We're going to use that frosted floral paper, I think, in the holiday catalog, because that's what her banner, her thank you banner, looked like. So I hope that helps. I hope Jewel thanks me for the idea of storing your DSP. Yeah, it's really great. It's so easy just to use. Sorry, I'm checking my. Good. Okay, so it's so easy because you already have 12 by 12 scrapbook pages, and it all is stored in there, and it slides in easy. You can see what you've got. So cool. I don't see any other questions that I can see. Yeah, that box, fun, easy. And again, like I said, you could do Christmas ones too, birthday, any occasion. Okay, so I'm going to go back because I got more to show you. Oh, see, I always click the wrong button and then have a little panic attack. Okay, so those are some bright pages. I think my light is really bright tonight. Let me show you a couple other things. This is something I made a couple of weeks ago, but again, it's just using that paper. I cut out those images, made a little tag onto a cello bag. And then I like to use our cardstock and run it through my old shredder. And then I have shred in the colors that I need of Stampin' Up. So I don't get rid of my old shredder because that's what I use it for now. And then I use one of our little clear cube boxes, which I love. And this one I got kind of carried, did a little paper sculpting, but it's all just images from the paper. There's that cute little frog. That little frog paper kills me. But you can see just a 1-inch strip around the box. I actually left it open up here because this is where the box opens. And then I just cut a little notch. But I put dimensionals onto the cauldron with the fire. And because I just use pieces that might have been an edge or something. Anyway, I was trying to use all the paper up. Okay, I showed these boxes. Okay, so the last box I'm going to show is this little box, which is cute. It's a cute little box, and it opens up out of the back. But there's those frogs. I love double-sided paper. Anyway, this little box is perfect. It actually holds 1 Reese's peanut butter cup. You'll notice there isn't one in there because I can't be trusted to keep them here at my house, so I don't usually get them. But I will show you how to make the box, and it really does fit a Reese's peanut butter cup perfect. And I'm just going to use a piece of the grape gorgeous grape cardstock. This is a 5 1/4 by 5 1/4. And this is just a little bit different. So we come to 2 1/4 here. See, this is why I don't like to take that out, because here it is. You're going to score it and punch it. And then you're going to move it to 3 along the same line. You're going to score it and punch it. And then you're going to flip it around. And for the next part, it's still always 2 1/4 that you're going to score and punch. You can line it up with this little line here with that little pointy thing. Or you can actually do it 2 1/4 and 3 here. You're going to do this all the way around on the whole box. Yeah, you're going to see how easy these boxes are. So this box can be made any size. It's just a matter of getting your paper cut and starting your scoring. I like this one because it's smaller. And it uses, I'm going to move that out of the way. What will happen if you use this a lot and you're doing a lot of punching, they stack up inside there and pretty soon your punch isn't working right and you're like, what's going on? But it's just because there's a stack of paper. So then what you're going to do is, I'm just going to go around on all 4 sides and score this box. Fold it on the score lines. I think you can pretty much see how this box is going to go together. It's pretty simple. And once you've done that, then what you're going to do is you're going to come in with a pair of paper snips. And I'm just going to cut down this line along that score line up to that score line. So along this score line up to that score line. And you're going to do that on this side. And you're going to do that on this side. Just like that. Then what you're going to do, we're going to put the box together. It's super easy. So I'm going to add a little adhesive. If I have some in here. Yeah, I do. There we go. To the backs of these little tabs. And then I like to pull it up and square up that corner. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And if you're worried about this snail not holding this together, which it might not because it's cardstock, it does with the paper, with the designer series paper, use a little of the mono glue, the green glue is what I call it, probably because it comes in a green tube. So you're going to do that. And again, you're just going to square up those corners. Square up this corner. There we go. And then, gosh, yeah, probably better off to use green glue. So then what you're going to just do is fold it in. And so all I need to do is add some adhesive to that. Hold that together. Add some adhesive to that. Push that together. And then the final one is actually the one that they're going to open when they get their candy out. And that is going to, you don't even have to glue it down. You can if you want, but you don't have to. I like to leave it open and then tie it shut. And that's, I just tied a bow around it. That's it. Because it was the designer series paper, it didn't really need much. And then when they open it, it's got those really adorable frogs on the inside. So super easy to make these boxes. Did I forget anything? I think that's it. Anyway, let me pull up myself. I see that there's a few questions. I'm not really sure. Somebody's, oh, I think they're called wobblers. They are. Thank you, Denise. The springy thing that I use are called wobblers. I could not for the life of me remember what they were called. And the bag actually just says springs that I had on them, but they're called wobblers. So if you Google that, you'll find them. Thank you. Oh yeah, shredding paper. Using my paper shredder. It's, you know, it's an old style one. It's that one there, right there in the corner. It's old style because now they like chop it up into so that it can't be, you know, ever put back together. But oh, Maria, you made it! Yay! But anyway, this one does it in the shreds, and I like it, and I can crunch it up and make shred the same color as my cardstock. That pointy punch thing always reminds me of a speech bubble. Yep. Cool. It looks like I got everybody's questions. And Hilda bought those wobblers on Amazon. And Judy, are you talking about the machine, the envelope punch board machine? Okay. Oh, good idea. Pam is going to make that box as little Thanksgiving treat. That's a good idea. Yeah, all those things I did tonight can be for any of the holidays that are coming up, which we have plenty. I was really having a hard time. I really wanted to work on Christmas, but it was snowing, so it's going to snow, so what the heck. Okay, so here are just some of the ideas in the catalog using the paper. They're using the stamp set and the paper and the dies. I just used the paper. And I kind of like it was just kind of fun just to take out a couple of products today and just use that. Envelope punch board is in the catalog. You can get it online. I think it's $19, maybe $20. It makes great envelopes. It makes all these. So all of these are different size envelopes. There's 3 columns of measurements for different size envelopes and how to make them. And then if you go on my website, you could learn how to make a matchbox, the cracker. I've got tons of stuff up there, but I will post up these pictures tomorrow, hopefully, or over the weekend. And so that you'll have these ideas too. I have a whole on my YouTube channel. I have a whole playlist of just envelope punch board. So this month's tutorial. Oh, that's supposed to say October. It actually says September. I'm supposed to say October tutorial. I'm having a hard time changing months. I think the punch board is easy to use. Sorry. I will run through here shortly, Judy. I'll run through another making of an envelope, and I'll run through it from start to finish, and then maybe that will help. Okay, cool. Okay, so this September tutorial is falling for leaves. It's actually cards and table decorations for Thanksgiving and for Christmas. They're very pretty. It's using the Falling for Leaves stamp set with the dies, and then there's actually 2 sets of projects. One uses the Country Lane paper, and the other one uses the Joy Noel paper. And so this Joy Noel paper, this Christmas paper here, has copper running through it, shiny copper. It's absolutely gorgeous. But both of the projects, both are the sets of projects, I think are really cool. They were done by another demonstrator. Very talented people. So that's fun. It's nice to use one stamp set for different holidays. And I just love the sleeve. I always have to get the leaves. Okay, so we're going to swing back over to my desk or my table. And I'm going to make an envelope from start to finish. Yeah, that's fine. Somebody just said they just got here, but you know what? That's fine because you can watch it anytime. That's the nice thing about having it be taped. Okay, I'm going to grab just a piece of typing paper, copy paper. I'm just going to quickly run through how to make an envelope. So when you have the envelope punch board, I keep losing that little piece. So this is it. And the scoring tool tucks underneath. You can see it tucks underneath there. And you really do want to make sure that it stays under there so you don't lose it. But if you lose it, you can always use the scoring tool from your scoreboard. Okay. So it has 3 different columns of all different size envelopes that you can make. So what you do is you pick like your card size. So let's say a regular card that we make on any given day is like 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So it's right here. You're going to find that on there. You guys probably can't see that. I can probably zoom in. I don't know if you'll still be able to see it, but there you go. If I get the camera to that way. Okay. So 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. This tells me my paper size needs to be 8 inches. So I'm going to take this. I'm just going to use copy paper for now. I'm going to cut this copy paper to 8 by 8, and then I'm going to score my first line at 3.5. So once I've done that, let me zoom out. Let me cut my paper. 8 by 8. I should have thought to do this before I started. Okay, so I have a piece of copy paper that's 8 by 8, and my measurement was 3.5. So I'm going to slide this into my score, into the up on the envelope punch board along the line there, 3.5, and I'm going to punch, and then I'm going to take my score tool and score it. And then I'm going to flip it, and this time I'm going to line up this. There's a point here on this punch to this line. Oh, this copy paper works great because you can actually see perfect. You're going to punch, and then you're going to score. And you're going to do that on all 4 sides. So line it up to that score line, punch, score, and then last one, line it up, punch, and score. And when you're done, you have an envelope. Now you can take your piece, stick it into the back, which is the corner rounder, and you can round the corners of your envelope, which just truly gives it a finished look. But I do love corner rounders. So then you're gonna pull it over. So these are the little pieces of paper that you have to brush away. And I think somebody was saying something about speech bubbles, but these are the pieces that I cut out for my box, but you can see where you could use those too. Anyway, back to my envelope. Then you're gonna score it or fold it on your score lines. And then I'm gonna add adhesive here and here, and I'm gonna bring my envelope up. And that is good, that's a good size. Let me grab a card. I'm sure I got one around here somewhere. My card will slide right into. And then I fold this down, and you can just take it, and that's how you do an envelope. So it's not hard, and it's great because you can do envelopes in so many sizes. And like I could take, a piece of cardstock or a piece of designer series paper that coordinates and make an envelope to match. So I hope that helps. Let me grab. I had to grab a couple door prizes because we all love that. It's getting close to door prize time. Okay, let me come back on screen. Oh, good. Yay, Judy. It's really isn't the envelope punch board is not difficult, but it just takes some explanation. I'm a visual person, so I like to watch people do something. So cool. Did I get lost on Facebook? Oh, good idea. Colleen says, I always use the A2 size one for your 4 1/4 by 5.5 cards because it's a 8 1/8 piece of paper square, and it just gives you a little bit of room. It's a good idea, especially if you have a lot of embellishments or whatnot on it. Cool. Okay, so just so everybody's aware, here's the hostess code. Everybody who places an order gets my tutorial. If you are on YouTube, you go down into the comment section or the description section of YouTube, and there should be a link in there to sign up on the door prize. Should be a link ready to go. If you're on Facebook, there should be a button to press, and on my website, there should be a link there too. Just click on that and sign up for the door prize. Okay, so everybody that places an order with me gets the tutorial for the month. Anybody that places an order over $40 gets a goodie packet from me for the products to make the tutorial. I hope that makes sense. Now, here's the deal. I just today got the product for my September orders. And what's happened is the designer series paper that I need for it is on back order. So those of you who placed an order with me in September are going to get your packets a little bit late. That's supposed to be here next, like the 15th of October. I'm going to put all the packets together. I'm going to have everything ready to go. I'm just going to wait for that designer series paper and then pop it into each one of them and get those sent out to you. But it is going to be a little bit late this month just because of the back order on that. But I want to wait for that paper because you need to have the whole thing. So this is what the door prize looks like. So hopefully everybody's found it. Thanks. We love our Petra too. Petra's our fur baby, our dog. She's going a little crazy tonight because the deer in town are kind of nutty right now because they're trying to eat as much as they can, I guess. I don't know. But they're all over the yard and coming to eat our apples. And tonight they'll be here for the flowers. So it's a little crazy. I'm going to come back on screen. I remember how. There we go. Cool. And then I'm going to pull up. Okay, so how this works is everybody pops in, everybody puts in their door price slip, and as people are putting in the information, it's populating into a spreadsheet, and that's how I decide pick a winner. So tonight I just picked the number. I write a number down on a Post-it note. I picked 47 tonight. And whoever falls into number 47 gets to choose a stamp set. And tonight they have a choice of either the Hung with Care or the Warm-Hearted stamp set. So these are Hostess sets that are in the holiday catalog. They're two very cute sets. This is actually my little favorite. I love these little wooden shoes there. Anyway, that whoever wins gets to choose that. But I want to run around for just one more time. I'm not going to run around because I don't run. But I'm going to swing in here. I wanted to show you one thing before we got done tonight, and that was a couple of things. So there's the envelope punch board in the store, and then Stampin' Up! Is having a sale right now. World Card Marking Day is Saturday, and I would have loved to have had some kind of an event, but I'm helping my sister-in-law move. She put her house on the market, and it sold the next day, and the guy wants her out of the house by the 15th of October. So that's what I've been doing all week, probably why I'm a little worn out. But we are trying to get all of her stuff. She has a huge house. And her husband passed away a year or so ago. And anyway, so we're trying to get a sale going for Saturday and get all of her stuff moved out of there. So I was thinking of having something Saturday morning for World Card Making Day, but it's not going to happen because I have to help with that sale. But anyway, I just want you to know that there is some sale items for World Card Making Day that you may not want to miss. It's 10% off. Tonight I used the 12 by 12 cardstock for that scrapbook page. That was my base. There I used this tear and tapes, which is really good adhesive when putting box together. I used some dimensionals on some of the products. That's cute. One of the things that I was personally looking at was this Calligraphy Essentials project kit with the stamp set. I think it's cute. And of course, you can always use mini dimensionals. I've already done these other kits. I love them all. I love a kit because I can take it somewhere and it's not packing a whole bunch of stuff. So cool. Okay, so let's see who won that door prize. Oh, yeah, that's it. And there's always the clearance rack. Don't forget that. It was just updated a few weeks ago. I'm coming back on if I can figure out how. Okay, so I'm going to start losing my voice now. Oh yeah, now it's coming up all over that there are people on my website. Okay, door prize time. Sorry. Number 47 happens to be Judy L. Judy LL at Hotmail. Judy, you just need to let me know which one of the stamp sets that you would like to have, and I will get that sent out to you in the mail. Either one is fine. You can send me an email at diane@DDStamps.com, or you can send me a message on Facebook. Either one works, or you can comment here. I believe I have your address, Judy. So I just need to sorry, see, this is what's happening to me tonight. Anyway, Judy will contact me. So if nobody else has any questions, I'm going to run around, check quickly, see what I can do. Yes, Colleen asked about the fast fuse. Okay, what happened with the fast fuse refill is that they had it in the catalog. The company that made it for them was going to quit. Do you want to go outside? Can you wait a minute? Okay, just wait. So they discontinued them, and then the company came back to them a while back and said they had these refills and would Stampin' Up like to put them on special for on sale. So that's why they're on sale. There were holders too, I think, on the clearance rack, but they're no longer available. So that's why the fast fuse showed up again. I do love fast fuse. Once you learned how to use it, if you didn't take the time to learn how to use it, it could be kind of a pain in the neck. I'll wait to hear from Judy. Cool. I think we're gonna, I was gonna check to see if there were any questions. Oh, little box, thanks for sharing. I don't see any questions. So anyway, we're good. I will stay in tune, stay in touch. I will be sending out, Petra, that's enough. I will be sending out an email to let you know when my next live event is going to be. And I'm sure that over the next few months, I'll probably be mostly focused on Thanksgiving and Christmas. I'm not a huge stamper for Halloween, although I do like this paper, and I do like to make treats like that just to hand out to, I used to give them out to all the teachers when my kids were in school. And I will still do some, but the bankers and the waitresses and all that, I'll do some little fun things, the coffee shop ladies. Anyway, thank you, and I hope that you have a good weekend. I'll be shoveling. I can say no more mowing. Now I get to shovel. Anyway, talk to you later. Thanks. Bye.